Winter, 1692. A heavy silence hung over Salem. The biting wind whispered through the trees, carrying with it a sense of unease. It was a time of deep faith, but also of great fear. The devil, they believed, walked among them. The Puritan settlers of Salem lived in a world of shadows and superstition. They believed in witchcraft, in dark magic and evil spirits. They saw the devil's hand in every misfortune, every illness, every strange occurrence. Their strict religious beliefs offered little comfort. They believed in predestination, the idea that God had already chosen who would be saved and who would be damned. This created a climate of fear and suspicion. No one was sure who among them might be in league with the devil. Fear and suspicion festered in the hearts of the villagers. Little did they know, this fear was about to explode into a terrifying reality, a dark chapter that would forever stain the soul of Salem. It began with whispers. Strange behavior, fits and seizures, tormented cries in the night. The young women, daughters of prominent villagers, claimed to be afflicted by unseen forces. They accused Tituba, a slave, and Sarah Good and Sarah Osborne, two outcast women, of witchcraft. The accusations spread like wildfire. Fear and suspicion gripped the community. The accused were brought before the authorities, subjected to humiliating examinations and intense questioning. They were pressured to confess, to name their accomplices. Tituba, desperate to save herself, confessed. She spoke of a vast conspiracy of witches working in secret to destroy Salem. Her confession sent shockwaves through the community. It confirmed their worst fears. The devil was indeed among them. The accusations escalated, fueled by personal grudges, paranoia, and the desire for power. Anyone who dared to question the accusers became a target themselves. The very fabric of Salem's society began to unravel. The trials began in the spring. A special court was established to deal with the growing number of accusations. The accused were subjected to bizarre tests, forced to recite prayers, and examined for witches' marks. The testimonies of the afflicted girls were chilling. They screamed and writhed in apparent agony, claiming to see the specters of the accused tormenting them. The court, swept up in the hysteria, accepted their testimony as proof of witchcraft. As the trials progressed, the accusations became more outlandish. Respected members of the community, including ministers and wealthy landowners, were accused. No one was safe from suspicion. Friends and neighbors turned on each other, fueled by fear and paranoia. The jails overflowed with the accused, men, women, even children. Conditions were deplorable, and many died while awaiting trial. The once peaceful community of Salem had descended into a nightmare. Section 4. Condemned by Fear. The Trials and Executions. The first execution took place on June 10th. Bridget Bishop, a defiant woman accused of bewitching pigs, was hanged on Gallows Hill. Her death marked a turning point in the trials. The accusations and executions escalated. One by one, the condemned were led to the gallows. They proclaimed their innocence, but their pleas fell on deaf ears. The court, blinded by fear and superstition, saw only witches and devil worshippers. Families were torn apart as loved ones were accused, imprisoned, and executed. The executions were brutal and public, meant to serve as a warning to others. The bodies of the condemned were left hanging on the gallows, a grim reminder of the price of dissent. The very air in Salem seemed thick with fear and despair. Section 5. Scars of Salem, the Legacy of the Witch Hunts. By the fall of 1692, the hysteria began to wane. Doubts crept in as accusations turned on more prominent citizens. The governor, concerned by the growing chaos, dissolved the court of Oyer and Terminer. In the years that followed, the Salem Witch Trials became a source of shame and regret. The trials were officially declared unlawful, and reparations were paid to the victims and their families. However, the scars of that dark chapter in American history remained. The Salem Witch Trials serve as a cautionary tale about the dangers of mass hysteria, religious extremism, and the abuse of power. They remind us of the fragility of reason in the face of fear and the importance of critical thinking and due process. The legacy of Salem is a reminder that the darkness that consumed this small New England town still lurks within the human heart, a warning that we must remain vigilant against the forces of fear, intolerance, and injustice.